name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop. So last night was the the Comic-Con at Home 2021 Doctor Who panel, and oh boy, that was not good. That was not good at all. It was actually an embarrassment, and I don't really consider this era Doctor Who, but it really was an embarrassment. I genuinely felt bad for fans of the current, genuine fans of the current era, not ones that just use the current era to virtually. But people, I'm sure there are people out there who genuinely like it. Listen, I have a neighbor who, very intelligent daughter, was it about 15, 14? I don't know how old she is, but she's a smart person. Freaking love Black Widow, right? And it is a genuine love. So I hear us old grumpy men in fandom go rah, 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 and pretend there's nobody out there who likes this stuff. There is. I just think it's just not very. It's not very good. I mean, so there's not that many, but there is people out there who like it. If you're a fan of this era, I think they took a dump on you. I really do. I don't think they did it because they intended to. I think this is another display of breathtaking incompetence, just breathtaking incompetence. So I'm going to be running you through the whole thing. I watched it, so you don't have to. I'm going to be looking at a couple of clips with you because I don't want to get copyright struck. So I think I should be fine if I have a couple of clips in and commenting on we go. But it was just shocking. It was really shocking. Don't bother watching it. I mean, you can if you want. Don't bother watching. It's so boring, right? It's so boring because they don't say anything. They say virtually nothing. What are they keeping all this secrecy for? Or what? I don't know. We'll be talking about that when we get into the main video. Before we get there, can you hit the like button? Freaking awesome. Thank you very much. Can you hit the share button? And can you hit the subscribe button? That'd be fan-dabby double dozy. If you're subscribed, make sure you're still subscribed. Get me up to, 3,100 subscribers. That'd be great. Actually, my subs went up recently, but then they went down again. It's a normal way things go. And you want to be super like, you want to be really, really supportive. I'm not monetized by it. They demonetize me because, I just generally think that having a penis generally makes you male and having a vagina makes you female. And I don't think that's a controversial point of view. And if you're somebody who feels that they're male and they have a vagina, or female and they have a penis, whatever, I don't care. Okay, it's nothing to do with me, mate. You ask me my personal opinion that most of the time I don't know about these minute amounts of weird cases, but I really don't know. Because I don't know, YouTube does demonetize me. So you want to be super nice? Go check out my Indiegogo, right? And which is really ending this week. We got less than a week to go now. So these are two freaking awesome graphic novels. You see, I want to kind of give you something tangible, right, for your money. So we got this thing, Biblical Bible Stories, Aces, Creatures, Rationalists, and Rogues. Kind of like Sandman's Swamp Thing, Hellblazer, that kind of vibe going on there. And then we got this thing, The Imperium, a love letter to Telefancy in the 1960s. This is 105 pages long. James Bond, Doctor Who, Emma Pill, A Monkey in a Spacesuit, and a Black Slab from 2001. What more can anybody ask for? Well, I'm going to throw some more in. There's a bit of Prisoner in there. There's a bit of Thunderbirds. It's freaking awesome. And then if you buy both books, you get a bunch of extras. The extras you can get on their own. If you want, again, it's now or never, baby. This is going offline very soon. So first we got this freaking awesome poster. It was a pin-up, now it's a poster. A2, that's 18 by 22, Noble Savages. Lovely Leela, and of course, whatever her name is, I keep thinking Sheena Easton. Not Sheena Easton, now I've got that name stuck in my head. Raquel Welch. Again, that's not even close to Sheena Easton. Where? I don't know where my brain came up with that. But anyway, they're together. They're with the Time Machine. They're with K9. Why are they all together? Who gives a crap, baby? Who gives a crap? And you got the For the Male Gaze cards, all these cards based on my youthful masturbatory fantasies, which they still work today. Bless them. And we got more posters. I think we're going to add another poster into the main package. So hey, listen, if you just want the extras, they're there. If you have local shipping in Canada. I've got to do refunds for people in Canada who paid regular shipping. Canada, Australia, England and the US. Everywhere else, I'm sorry, baby. That's the best I could do for you. Anyway, go check it out. That'd be great. Something not to check out. However, something definitely not to check. Something to avoid would be the Comic-Con. Now, where's my notes from it? Okay, fine. So it was 40 minutes of sheer hell. So, firstly, finding it was a pain in the ass. I eventually found the link. On Twitter, they put out the trailer first. And the trailer's not very good. In the video, in the actual Comic-Con panel, they put the trailer at the end. We'll talk about it there. It's just not. It's what you would expect. I mean, honestly, it's everything that we should have expected, but we were kind of conned into thinking it wouldn't be. I mean, they thought, they managed to build up a bit of suspense with this very, very special guest. But the trouble is, when you promise something and you don't deliver it, people don't like it, right? People get very, very upset. So there was no very, very special guest. I mean, again, I'll get to it in order, right? So in fact, let's start. I'm going to show you the first clip, which is, I can't impersonate this enough to make it real. It's the moderator, the very, very sterile Melanie McGarand, and she's for the life of me looks like a Stepford wife. Right, you're like, welcome to the Comic-Con panel. I love insert TV show here. I mean, it's like, okay, well, you know what? You don't take my word for it. Let's watch this together. There we go. Doink. Turn up the old sound. It's amazing how robotic this is. Okay, let's play this little bit here. Her intro.
Hello, everyone. I'm Melanie McFarlane, and welcome to Comic-Con at Home 2021. For this very exclusive Doctor Who.
Did you know she just looked at her notes to see what the hell she's doing? Oh, Melanie McFarlane, not McGarland. Annie McFarland. Total disinterest. Like, it's not just me seeing this. This is total disinterest from her.
Season 13 panel. The good news is that Doctor Who.
I mean, like, great, really? Paul's is just like, I don't care about, like, I don't know, what do these icky fanboys want? I mean, I guess I'll just moderate this. It reeks of utter disrespect to the fandom.
Who returns later this year with a season that's totally.
I mean, she's reading her script.
Unlike anything that we've seen before. And when I say that, I'm not kidding. We have some.
Yeah, she's not kidding because it says it right there. So that's the level of delivery that she had. Not very good, right? Not very good. And it really. So she introduces everybody. Chibnall is in agony. He is just agonizing in his own skin. He hates people seeing him. He hates having to. I mean, he just does. You can tell. And also he knows that he's going to get loud. He knows he's Pippin Jane Baker and the rest of the world is Chris Chibnall, right? There's a 14-year-old Chris Chibnall. He knows how bad it's going. And he hates promotion and he's very bad at it. Why not hire somebody who could actually speak enthusiastically about your TV show without sounding like an idiot? I mean, I don't know, Pete Mateague, right? You can call him an executive producer. It doesn't have him be the face of this production of Doctor Who, but the trouble is they just don't care. Because I don't think it's about entertaining people. I don't think it's about getting viewers. I don't think it's about popularity. I think it's just about churning it out and knowing it's going to be reviled because they know it's going to be reviled. Having said that, they do have some actually good ideas this season, which they're going to do very, very badly, in my opinion. Right? They're going to do them very badly. So he introduces Chris Chibnall. He's like, don't look at me! He's just, I mean, he really is not comfortable. Then they introduce Jodin. She claps like a moron. Because she is. I mean, she's very excited to be Doctor Who. She has absolutely no understanding of the character of Doctor Who, right? Then we introduce to Yaz, who is once again plays the Doctor's dear friend. I wonder, do they speak a love so profound, so so primal that it dare not speak its name? Yes, they do. Okay, yes, they do. There will be scissoring in the TARDIS, right? And Yaz is going to be the stunning and bravest, bestest ever. How do we know this? Well, in Judaism, we've got a thing called hazaka. It's a legal term, hazaka. that if something happens before on a regular basis, you can expect the same thing to happen again. If the sun rises every morning, you most likely the sun is going to rise the next morning, right? You know, like most likely, right? So if Chris Chibnall exceeds every level of suck that you could possibly imagine, which he does, I honestly, Series 11, I was on board. It was like way worse than I could possibly imagine, right? It was worse than me. I just couldn't get my head around how bad it is. However, by beginning of Series 12, I convinced myself, well, maybe they've heard, right? Maybe they heard, and I do know they're putting more monsters and aliens in it and villains and things like that. Maybe it's going to be better. It actually made it worse because you saw how bad Jodie Whittaker's performance was, who was just like a wrecking ball of awful through anything and everything. She's just so bad at the role. Somebody pointed out in the comments that she's not the worst person to play the role, but more specifically, she's the worst woman who's ever played the role. The Stunning and Brave first female Doctor. She's definitely the worst person to play the role. That's behind Joanna Lumley, who was rather good, and as Joe Martin, vastly superior, right? Still not great, but vastly superior. And I think the big finish I'm down the head. Our Bella Weir play the Doctor. And again, all of them were better than Jodie Whittaker. That's how bad she is. Very, very bad. So then they released a few small bits of information about the upcoming season. Not the date it's premiering. No, they won't tell you that. Absolutely not. And incidentally, Titan Comics had a panel about 20 hours earlier. And they said, "Oh yes, of course we're going to do more Doctor Who stuff, but the BBC won't let us tell you what. Are they planning anything else? It seems like they're planning doing a Missy series. It seems like they're planning doing anything other than a 13th Doctor series, and then shoehorning the 13th Doctor in and go, well, that didn't sell. Who knew? I don't know why." So it's they give you a few deals. Firstly, it's one long story. It's so there's lots of cliffhanger. Each episode ends on the cliffhanger. Which is a good idea. I mean, let's be fair. It's a good idea, and I think it's something that really could be done well. Moffat basically did that, but you had like stories out of the arc as well. But here you don't, because you have a reduced episode count. So we don't know how long the season is either. Is it 6 episodes or is it 8 episodes? People don't know. Okay, they haven't released it. We had the Daily Mirror saying that it's going to be. They're taking 2 of the episodes in this block of 8 and making them into specials for 2022. Yet to be confirmed, as is pretty much everything. So there's one long continuous story, and I'm thinking, oy vey. So I'm thinking, oy vey. And I really am thinking that because take something like the War Games, which is just freaking excellent. If you haven't seen the War Games, I really recommend it. It's Patrick Troughton's last story. It's 10 episodes long. It's one of the longest stories they've ever done, and I think it's a much more coherent story than say something like Trial of the Time Lord, which is essentially 4 stories. I mean, let's be fair. But the reason that War Games works is Terrence Dicks. I believe it was Terrence Dicks was a writer on it. He was a very accomplished professional, and he spent years working on Crossroads. Right, Crossroads was a awful soap, probably Compact as well. They all worked on Compact. That was a big one, right? They spent years working on that, which is a grind. You have to grind out scripts over and over again. This is something that Chibnall cannot do. But the process of grinding out scripts makes you into a writer, right? The more you can pound it out quicker, the better you can make it into a writer. I got a great book over there. Harlan Ellison called Honest Whoredom for was it a Center Word or something like that? Which is basically when he was younger, he would stay up all night writing a short story and sell it to like amazing stories or amazing adventures or whatever magazine in the morning, and be able to pay his rent for a couple of days, right? So yeah, but it was that like sausage factory thing. They would grind it out. Chibnall's not able to do that. Chibnall is not a seasoned writer. He's not a particularly good writer. He certainly doesn't understand, I would say, the basics of story structure or the basics of storytelling. From just going on his the evidence I've seen from Doctor Who. Now he has done other stuff that's been successful. Broadchurch, for example, first season was very good, but when you look at it, it's kind of a con job. It's kind of like an emotionally weighted con job that slowly, like, that makes it, that looks like a story, but really isn't, right? I think that's the best way of describing it. But okay, so they claim this season's going to be the biggest story they've ever done. Now, keep in mind, they're not talking about the biggest story Doctor Who has ever done. It's the biggest story that they personally have ever done, because they don't know anything about Doctor Who beforehand. They like reinvented the wheel essentially when they came in, which is why that season 11 really failed in such a big way, because they were just like relearning stuff that Russell T Davies has established like 15 years earlier. So it's like the biggest story he's done over 2 years. And listen, Spyfall was a big story, right? It was a bad story with like lots of bad story elements, but it was a big story. It had big production values. Listen, I think they're excited about it, right? They seem to be. I mean, Jodie is because she's a moron. She has no idea what's going on. Mandip is because she's a bigger moron. Mandip is like inside her head is like a singularity. You can't get too close to there because you'll get sucked in to the black hole that is Mandip Gill's mind. Mandip Gill, bless her, reasonably attractive and knows how to put on makeup, so she's been able to get away with being a moron all her life without people telling her she's a moron. What she should be doing in life is working on the checkout counter, working on the makeup counter at a local pharmacy, like Boots the Chemist, like one of the people who squirt you with perfume as you walk by. Why? Because she'll probably be able to sell some makeup. She'll probably be good at it. That's where she's supposed to be in life. As an actor, look, acting takes intelligence. It does. Okay. Good acting takes intelligence. She could be fine in Holby City, right? She could be totally fine in Holby City, which basically I think requires the same level of acting as your average porn movie, right? I mean, but when you get to something like Doctor Who, which is a complex piece of entertainment, it's got a lot of things. It's got a lot of contradictions built into it, right? He's a pacifist, but he's always works with the military. He's egalitarian, but he's very much in charge. He's he's not sexist, but can you go make you a cup of tea? He's a authority and an anti-authoritarian. You have all the it really is. It seems to be very simple. They say all great pieces of art, right? All truly great pieces of art seem effortless. I got a beautiful Picasso drawing in my living room. We went to this fundraiser art auction years ago, like 15, 20 years, me and my wife, and we were broke. We didn't really have enough money, but we saw this Picasso. It's like the dove of peace. And we loved it. We fell in love with it. We couldn't afford it. We bought it anyway, right? Because we absolutely adored it. But the greatness of it is how simple it looks. Like he did it in 2 seconds. It's true. He did draw it in 2 seconds. However, it was the 30 or 40 years of like drawing crow's feet beforehand that made him be able to draw it in 2 seconds. Great art always looks effortless, which I think is why this era of Doctor Who is such an incredible slog, right? So all through this, Chris Chibnall just has a charisma bypass, right? He is certainly not cis. He is not comfortable in his skin. That's very, very, very clear, right? I think this is going to be terrible. Then Jodie chimes in, and because Jodie is a opposite from being a authoritative anti-authoritarian, is a massive conformist idiot, right? The exact opposite of what Doctor Who should be. So the first thing is she goes in to explain, this is why we're not wearing masks. We're all working together in a pod, but you got to wear masks or make sure you're vaccinated. Like, Judy, shut up, baby. Oh my God. Get through. This is a 40-minute thing. You couldn't get through it without lecturing people, and you're not even on script, darling. God's sake. So she speaks a bit, Jodie, and she doesn't really say anything. And we're going to watch a clip of her do that later. She speaks a bit and really doesn't say anything whatsoever. It's a huge emotional challenge. And Mandip looks on adoringly. I think Mandip is gay for Jodie Whittaker, okay? The character, Yaz is clearly gay for the Doctor. I think Mandip is gay for Jodie Whittaker because I don't think they can act. I think they can just like do the real things, and just like change their names. It's kind of like, what was that Ricky Gervais show? Extras, right? Extras, second season when they start making a show out of his script. Ricky Gervais, he was an extra, they start making and they get Keith Chegwin in to guest star. Oh, bloody Cheggers. and they and he's just clueless. He just like says, well, it's easier we call you Keith, that sort of thing. I imagine it being very, very similar to that. So then we have Dan Bishops talks a lot, and his role is clearly to be the human being in the group, the one that human beings can relate to. He's not a stunning brown woman. He's not a black man. He's not a stunning and brave woman. No, he's a white man, and so his job is to be the one that normal people can relate to. He's a stand-up comic, and he's personable. He's very good at that, right? And he does well at that. And then you see him kind of get a prod by BBC, diversity, the diversity inclusiveness crew. Well, by the way, the woman who runs that, I can't remember her name. June something or other. I saw it this morning. She works 3 days a week. Okay, only 3 days a week. Annual salary is £267,000. Let's see. That money seems to be badly spent to me, right? So he gets a prod, and then he breaks into a little soliloquy about how Jodie and Madam are the bestest ever, and they made the funnest, most inclusive set ever. And they keep telling us how much fun it is, and telling us how much fun it is to make the show is great if it's a successful show, if it's a beloved show, if it's a show that's going well. If it's a show that's crashing and burning, which this is, it's just annoying. It's like, oh, good, I'm glad you're having fun larking about destroying something that millions of people love. I find it a little bit bloody irritating. So Dan tells the story of how he turned it down. It's like, I'm not going to do that shit. And then he tells the story of how COVID came and he didn't have a job, right? He needed a job. He couldn't do stand-up anymore, couldn't go to any clubs. They were all closed down. So he phoned Chiball back, said, that job's still going. He said, yeah, that job's going. And Chiball was like, yes, we have a human being. We have somebody who can approximate a human being. This is very, very exciting. I do hope this is going to work out well. But then he had to go through the audition process, apparently. Then Mandip Gill! Mandip, you want to keep this to yourself, darling. Mandip Gill pipes up, oh, I didn't need to audition. No, they wanted a personality list block of wood, and they just came right to me. Yes, Mandip, we know that. I mean, like, honestly, do you have to make your privilege, like, quite so well known, right? You have to be quite so on board with, like, how insanely privileged you are. The answer to that is yes. Apparently, yes, because that privileged people have no embarrassment about the privilege. And the amazing thing is, their privilege comes from saying that they are underprivileged. So it's a very weird. So then we have Mandip Gill for a bit, and we have a bit of her wit and wisdom, which... God, she's so dumb. I mean, at one point she talks about how arduous things were and how she made it through the pandemic. I mean, darling, that's not really like surviving the Holocaust, is it? No, you sat in your expensive house for a year and was paid because you're stunning and freaking brave, and we've all done it. Everybody's done the pandemic together. You're nothing special. But she thought it was a big deal, right? And so then they release this epic picture of the new trio. Let me just pull that up. Over here. Second. Oh, man, I've got to make it small. My life's a living hell. Let me find out how epic. Oh, there we go. Let me just enlarge that a touch. Yeah, I'll move over here, and we'll make this bigger. We were, right? Here we go. Here's the new picture of the stunning and brave crew. What's it? John Bishop. Well, again, being the group human being, he comments said, "Hey, Mandip and Jodie look great, but I just look like the guy your dad plays darts with," and he kind of does, right? He kind of does. And then we see let's look at their expression. Like, yeah, how is somebody paid to act this way? Like, oh, I'm stunning and brave. Look at me, I'm so stunning and brave. I'm the bestest ever. I'm a moron authoritarian, but I'm the bestest ever. Can I smugly look at you for a bit? And Lee's like, it's a job. It's a job. What the hell? Doctor Who should be fun. Should be fun. He tells a story about about how he was in this like celebrity soccer thing with Bradley Walsh, and he kept asking questions about Doctor Who. And Bradley Walsh thought he was a weirdo. It's like, what do you want to know about Doctor Who for? That weird little show. Turns out that he was going to be in Doctor Who, and then Bradley Walsh said, oh, you're going to love it. I understand you all love being in Doctor Who. Can you make it so we love watching Doctor Who? And when I say we, not a tiny minority that you've decided are important. No. We're talking, can we, all the people who used to like it again? And I think that's going to mean everybody leaves, right? Everybody leaves. So then Jim starts talking about the guest stars, and he kind of gets erect, right? You can kind of see him like stroke himself gently with excitement when he talks about the guest stars. And now it's time to introduce the mystery guest, the big mystery guest, a very special mystery guest. Who is it? Tom Baker? Is it David Tennant? River Song? Alex Kingston, I should say. It's not John Barrowman now, is it? No, it's not John Barrowman. So I thought it was somebody to replace John Barrowman so they could bring people in. Listen, in their mind, this is the greatest piece of casting ever. They're so excited about it. So let's have a look at this guy, who you're all going to agree is instantly recognizable. Yeah, him. Oh, yeah, come back here. Yeah, him. I mean, like, who's that? Who exactly is that? I'll tell you who that is. That incredibly famous, very, very special guest. It's Grey Worm from Game of Thrones, right? That's great. The guy who plays Grey Worm in Game of Thrones. What's his name? Jacob. What was it? He wrote the character for him. Jacob Anderson, right? Jacob Anderson played, and quite frankly, he was always on screen with whoever played the translator, Emmanuel. The most beautiful woman I've ever seen. Like this. So look, he may have been great as Grey Worm. I wasn't really paying that much attention, mate. I really wasn't paying that much attention. But Chibs is so, it's like, oh, I wrote it for him. I hope he will do it. I knew from Broadchurch, Really, Chibs? Who could have guessed? Who could have guessed that was the case? It was like just shocking. It was just absolutely shocking. Like. This is a guest star. Now, yeah, he's going to be in multiple episodes. He'll probably be a companion. He'll probably travel in the TARDIS. But he's a guest star. Who gives it? He's an unimpressive guest star, And this is the thing. Do you remember the trailer at the end of, what was it, The Woman Who Fell to Earth or Twice Upon a Time? When we first saw, I think it was The Woman Who Fell to Earth, when it was like showing all the exciting things going to happen, right, this season, and it was just really boring. And then he had picture, like shot upon shot upon shot of all the different guest stars, and them all being excited, like, oh look, there's a woman from Downton Abbey, and there's Alan Cummings, and like, but it was just, but listen, I understand, suddenly being inside the industry, you are excited to get people who have note within the industry. It's not made for you, and that's the problem with Doctor Who, right now. They're not making it for human beings. They're not making it for Dan, right? Dan Bishop, who basically looked like he'd been kidnapped the whole way through. It was like, what are these weirdos doing here? He's like, yeah, got to set people dress up as Daleks and stuff. I don't believe he views them as freaking weirdos. Okay, that's fine. So then we hear Dan Bishop tells how he had the most embarrassing thing happen to him ever. Most embarrassing thing happened to ever, right? Well, what is the most with Grey Worm? So what's the most embarrassing thing ever? He tells a story. He's on set, and it sounds like he's telling a story of how he's shitting himself on set while they're waiting for a cue. He goes like, "I'm not feeling well," and he goes, "Bleh," and like. It sounds like he's telling us, that's a pretty wild story. Then it turns out he's telling a story about how he let a fart out backstage while while waiting to go on with Grey Worm next to him. Listen, mate. I understand. Paramount is persona non grata, but Go back and watch the Confidentials when you had David Tennant, Barrowman, and Billy Piper coming out the TARDIS, season 2. When they're in the TARDIS together, the TARDIS isn't real. Remember, it's a box they film when they come out of. When they're inside the little TARDIS together, they would have farting competitions to see who could have the grossest fart going on. So yeah, this is how the mighty has fallen. So this guy. Who was it? Grey Worm. He's playing this new. Oh yeah, is he playing? I've got it. Is he playing a returning character? Is this the Rani? Who is this? Is this Magnus? Magnus Grill? Who is it? No, new character we never heard of before, called Vinda. And then my good friend Noel over at the TARDIS zone looked up the definition of Vinda. This is unfortunate. Vinda, a person who is sexually attracted to little boys and plants. What the hell? I mean, what? Boys and plants? That's weird. It is for somebody who is known for using R to the A to the PTE as a threat. It was somebody who was known for, Mom, I've been invited to Vinda's house to have a birthday party, and we're going to eat lots, and he said he'll teach me how to play his brand new game, PN15. Okay, so that's the name of the character. Maybe they should have thought through that one a little bit more, right? Maybe a little bit more. I don't know. I do know, and they should know that. Fine. Then we hear a story about how Mandip really connected with Grey Worm, and they say, we talked for 7 hours on set. It was incredible. And then Jodie, being the moron that she is, said, yeah, everybody else said that was a nightmare. They said they looked at his face and he wanted to shoot himself. He said he did say he was kind of tired the next day. Yeah. When hearing a boring vacuous tart talk at him relentlessly, look, this was 40 minutes long and I want to slit my wrist. God knows what he wanted to do. So yeah, Grey Worm is Vinda. Who cares? They keep going on about how much fun it is to make the show. Fun. I don't give a shit. This is not for you. This is to engage an audience. I don't care that you're enjoying it. I would much rather you all be miserable and make watchable television than you're having the time of your life making this unwatchable shit, right? So then they try and talk a little bit about what's coming up in season 13, but they're not allowed to because everything's totally secret. Why? Okay, and why are they keeping any of the secret for? We know there's Sontarans, we know there's Weeping Angels, we know there's Daleks. We know, and the only people who give a shit, right? The only people who give a shit are Doctor Who fans, and they already fucking know! Moron! They already know! You can start teasing it to the bloody general audience, and you can see the Sontarans stomp around, and they're great designs, right? They are great. No, I will not market my show in an effective way, in any way, shape, or form. Right? It's just unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. So then we have Mandip says, I'm really excited for an old monster to come out, but specifically this old monster. So what is it? Is it the Sontaran? Is it It must be Weeping Angel, because that's probably the only one she's ever seen before, right? But again, who cares? But and you could use this to promote the show. It's not going to be a shock for anybody to go, it's the Sontarans. Most normies don't know who the Sontarans are. They don't give a shit. Do you want to see sci-fi things being science fiction-y on the screen to be able to sell your boring ass shit? Which you're not doing for some unknown bloody reason. Then he asks, fan question, who would they switch characters with? Mandip would like to be Sasha Dewan because they're a similar skin tone, I think. And he goes, Sasha's character's so different from mine. Yes, Sasha Dewan had a character, you don't, right? So different in that it exists, right? All through this, John Bishop is looking like he has been kidnapped by psychos, kidnapped by circus clowns. He's like, I just wanted a job for 6 months. That's all no. And they also, then Jodie says she would be Missy. And then we get into the part of the thing that where we're going to watch this clip together because it's excruciating. Okay, I don't see why you should be spared this unending nightmare. Let's have a look. Doink. Open this up. Let me close that and make that smaller again. They've got sound. Let me turn the sound up. So they're asked. I think they asked, what does being a Doctor Who mean to you?
What does it mean to you to be part of the Doctor Who universe?
And I love like how great she is at delivering this. Right? She's like from the Hall of Presidents.
Oh,
Oh no, I have to interact with human beings. This is going to be tricky.
well, I guess for me, it's to have a job where you can.
Yeah, having a job. Honestly, you don't deserve that. You don't deserve. Okay, look at him. Look at the brain trust there. Look how engaged he is. That's got to be used for a thumbnail somewhere, hasn't it?
Can play in the world that you loved as a child.
Yeah. Did you really love it as a child, or did you just love going on open air and like pretending to have some kind of status?
And as an adult.
Don't believe you.
And then you combine that with what you've done as a profession, and
yeah, what you've done as a profession. I mean, this has destroyed you as a profession. You've been absolutely awful, right? Absolutely awful.
Then you work with these people, and you work with the heads of department.
Yeah, okay. This is where it gets really telling. This is where Chris Chibnall. This is what he should be doing in life, right? This is his place in life. He should be like some kind of like an old time producer who made things work together, who've got like groups of people to work together and organize things that make schedules. He's not a creative guy. Basically, John Nathan Turner, right? He should have been John Nathan Turner. They should have brought in somebody with a creative ability to be able to write. I think Paul Cornell, massive douchebag, but it would have done great for him. He's not a writer, and so you see the only bit where watch it. The only bit where he gets engaged, where he gets so excited, when he talks about the technical organization of this.
Crews, that everybody on the show, the post-production team, it is like the greatest joy. It's the greatest teamwork I've ever been involved in.
Yeah. Again, the results are garbage. Are absolute garbage.
And then it's in service of a thing that you love from when I was 4 years old.
I just don't believe he loves it. God, look at that face. I just don't believe he loves it.
It's an incredible privilege. It's incredibly emotional. I think particularly this year in getting the show up and running again. And
the logistics. He loves the logistics, right? Loves the logistics.
Everybody's efforts. There are people coming in at 2:30, 3 a.m. in the morning.
Oh my God, people are getting up in the morning. Yeah, it's called a job. You're paid to do that, right? No one's doing this for you for free, right? Again, you got your diversity and inclusive-ness SAR coming in three whole days a week and being paid £267,000 a year. So, this is a job that you are lucky to have. So, it's not. It's good that people do a job. When somebody does a job for you, does it well, compliment them, be good to them. Like, don't be a dick about it, but don't go, oh, you saved the world. No, you've just done your job. That's all you've done. You've done your job.
To get ready for us to film, and it's incredible. So it's really emotional, and
that you look really emotional, mate. You look really emotional.
I think it feels like we're so excited.
It feels like we're so excited.
It's sort of.
Oh, look! She's trying to think. Look at that! It's incredible.
I think what you saying about the kind of being a fan, and then you are in something.
Okay, Jodie, darling, you're not a bloody fan. Do you not remember? It was only a couple of years ago you started the role and you said, should I watch some Doctor Who to see what it's like? And Christian said, no. Indicating you never watched it. Indicating you're not a fucking fan!
That is so precious to us as an individual, but you are that 5-year-old every day, because this is... You
were never that 5-year-old, right? And 5-year-olds are too young for Doctor Who. They should be 12-year-olds. Oh my God. You are in complete delusion and fantasy. But wait, there's more.
A privilege, and then you see how it affects people and how it reaches people.
Really? Okay. If you want to see how it affects people, how it reaches people, it reaches fans, how about this for an idea? Turn the comments on, you frickin' cowards! Turn on the likes and dislikes. Do you want to see how it's affect fans? And you have this like ridiculous, oh, they're review bombing it. No, a review bombing it is where no, it's not review bombing when people review your thing to say it is shit. And I'm sorry that you make relentless shit, but you still make relentless shit.
And they're loyal. And like John said before, you know, you're on set and it's really late at night and someone has taken the care to turn up in the best cosplay.
Yeah, and you have not taken the care to research this role in any way, shape or form. Again, you have not taken the care to pay attention to the metrics that this era of Doctor Who has had, which has been diabolical. It has been, the ratings have fallen off a cliff. You have done a very bad job and you do not care. You know why you don't care, Jodie? Because it's just a silly children's TV show to you. That's why. And you know, it's okay you think that. It's okay that you think that. To a lot of people it means a hell of a lot more, right? A hell of a lot more.
They could, you know, in the middle of the night, just to see the thing they love. And we don't know why they love it. It could have been a moment.
Yeah, it's just a true I don't know, I can't know why anybody loves this. It bases what she's saying.
With their grandma when they were younger or...
Okay, nobody watched it with their grandma. I mean, I'm sure some people did, but most grandmas aren't interested in Doctor... No! Okay, listen, you've got this insane religion where you say men and women are completely interchangeable. That's not true. I'm sorry. That is not true. I watched a video last week of a man who identifies as a woman, which is fine. It's what I want to do, trying to nurse their baby, but being confused how it doesn't happen, not realizing they don't have milk ducts or breasts because they are genetically male. Oh.
It could have been just like an image that got them hooked, and for us, we have that.
Okay. It was anything other than you, right? That's what it was. It was anything other than you that got them hooked.
Now we're the we're the fans,
No, you're not. No, you're not.
We're the Whovians.
No, you're not. Whovians. I didn't used to mind the word Whovian until she started using it. I'm a Whovian. We got to speak to the Whovians.
And we're so lucky to be able to have an emotional connection, not just for us.
You don't have an emotional connection.
Having this journey, and it doesn't become insular or in any way internalized. It's all about inclusivity and sharing, because
okay, so now she's just using word salad, using the words that she's told to use. Inclusivity, sharing, what's the diversity. I mean, honestly, it looks like she's breaking down.
The whole thing is about us doing this to reach those guys, and we are all on something that goes before us and beyond.
Okay, that being the case, are you not bothered that you haven't reached a lot of those people? A lot of those people think your Doctor Who is unbearable shit. But instead of taking on that, the customer feedback, no, instead you go around and say, well, they must be bigots and they don't like my vagina. Don't be scared of my vagina. I'm not scared. I mean, I don't particularly want to have a close encounter with it, but I'm not particularly scared of it. I'm scared of what you have done, which is exceed every level of shit for this era of Doctor Who.
And I get really teary about it all the time.
Yeah, me too, darling. Finally, we found something that we agree with. I get really teary about what you've done to Doctor Who as well. Fine, so then mercifully it starts to wrap up. And we get to see the trailer. Okay, I'm not going to play the trailer here. I'm going to show you screen grabs because I don't want to get a copyright strike, which they might do anyway. You know, who knows or dares to dream. Okay, so starts off. Jodie's like in the out of focus, walking up to the camera, still out of focus. And then she's got her. I think this is her serious face, right? Her little serious face. It's and it's how can you tell it's her little serious face? Because she's not smiling, I think. Then we get rainbows, lots of rainbows everywhere. This season is going to be fabulous. Listen, we know what rainbows are code for, and nobody really has a problem with the LGB part of that code, right? Nobody has really had any problem. Nobody really has any problems with the T people part of that code either. What people have problems are those T people becoming totalitarian fascists and insisting that we cannot have freedom of thought or freedom of expression, and saying anything that we personal worldview that in any way contradicts theirs is bigotry. It's not. Bigotry is what these people do. So again, she's a horrible conformist moron. That is why she's on the side of, I would say, the bad National Socialists, right? So then we have her do a bit of a turnaround. Oh, she's got a Warren face on again. Oh, no, Jodie. We have a quick look at Vinda. Hello, Vinda. And they were so excited about it. They're like, Vinda! Oh, let me stroke myself off the Vinda! Who gives a crap? We have, for some reason, her hair's a bit wet, and they introduce her. Hi, I'm the Doctor. This is Yaz, stunning and brave, best as ever. And this is Dan, but, don't want to have him in shot. He's Nicky Man. Then cut to a bit of TARDIS and Vortex, which is not a bad look. Would have been much better for the Colin Baker era. Yes, everything's rainbow, because... that's just where it is today. We had a couple of shots of Dan Bishop being, what's his name, the character? Oh, John Bishop being Dan. I became calling Dan Bishop all the way through. John Bishop being Dan. And of course, he's a doofus compared to the stunning and brave, brilliant Yaz. This is him falling down on a rope in the background for some reason. And Yaz is reading something. They're in period dress, and Yaz is just being clever. And as he falls down, he goes, "Push! E, are you okay?" All right. And she doesn't even look up because she's just a brilliant detective and who's quite wonderful at everything. We have a shot of Yaz and the Doctor flying on a broomstick or some shit. Who gives a shit? Then Yaz confronts the Doctor. Oh, they do say that Yaz and the Doctor have been traveling a long time now. After the end of season 12, right? They've been traveling for I don't know, God knows how long. But yes, that love is about to bloom. But here they have a bit of a lover's tiff. She goes, "E, you're not telling us something." Aye, and Jodie, first, obviously she's just achieving orgasm. Because this is what Yaz is doing as she's fingering Jodie, because it's that's where they're going, right? You're hiding something. And then cuts to this scene of the Doctor being the 13th Doctor being the 13th Doctor, i.e. she is shitting herself in terror as she goes, "Get in the TARDIS!" and close the door. It wouldn't be quite so bad if you weren't always so terrified of everything and useless. Some more of her being scared. Dan falling down a sci-fi tunnel. This is really annoying. Can I zoom in on this? At one point, the Doctor uses a slingshot and, does a whole, tongue up there. Listen, it's only cute being, stupid if you're actually smart. If you've always played it like a moron, then it's just kind of annoying. And it ends up, we see headshots of everybody. It ends on the Doctor, and she goes, "Oh, I'm so stunning and brave. I'm so stunning and brave. But I need to be just a bit more condescending." So they go to this one instead. There you go. I'm even more condescending now. Then we get more rainbows. Lots of rainbows. We have, while the rainbows are going on before we then... the Doctor returns. Rainbow, 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 rainbow. 4, rainbow, 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 rainbow. Her, rainbow, rainbow, rainbow. Biggest, rainbow, rainbow, rainbow. Adventure, rainbow, rainbow, rainbow. Yet. Okay, who cares? So we get more rainbows. Yes, we understand the subtlety with which you're trying to give your messaging. Doctor Who. Who knows? Are they redoing the titles? I doubt it. Who cares? Who the hell cares? So there you go. Then it's thankfully over. They got one last question. They ask, with one word, describe the season, and they're clearly given answers by the BBC marketing department. Yeah, man, it says riveting. John Bishop says inspirational. I bet it's not inspirational at all. And I've got Jodie. Jodie does it with her smug face, and she thinks she's being clever, and it's so weird when people think they're being clever and they're really not. And she goes, mysterious. And then Chibs gives a little bit of a hint for what's coming. He says swarm. So obviously the swarm has something to do with it. They must be the bad guys. Who gives a shit? So then one more interesting tidbit. Season 13 coming later this year. No date in the US. It will be on BBC America and AMC Plus, but not HBO Max. What's going on there? Seasons 1 to 12 are on HBO Max. Not on HBO Max season 13. Are they still paying for it? Is AMC Plus a part of HBO Max? Who knows? Who knows? Doesn't bode well for season 14, does it? Does not bode. Listen, doesn't bode well for Doctor Who. So there you go. I've watched it. I've watched it, so you don't have to. You are welcome. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the other Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring that little bell so you are notified when new videos drop.